Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And today I'm talking about Indian immigrants are busted, and I want you to listen to this video.
Everybody and their mother wanted to go to the United States. I saw the cracks, and I warned people when I served in India. What I saw in terms of industrialized fraud, there is a huge back industry where you have storefronts after storefronts focused on basically creating fraudulent documents, fake transcripts, fake bank statements, fake degree certificates to use the visa loophole to cut the line and actually emigrate to the US.
See, this kind of information is important for Black people to know because they will do everything, and I'm talking about Americans who are in control of things, will do everything to hold Black people back. But then see how people are playing them. Look how people are playing them. The model minorities are playing the hell out of them. And I don't blame them. This woman is really shedding light on a situation that needs light shedded on it. And I'm happy to see it.
H-1B visa is a guest worker visa. It's a temporary status visa. But these are not exemplary individuals. These are run-of-the-mill people. They get sashayed into the OPT program, and then they get preferential treatment by the Silicon Valley managers. We were just like so overwhelmed that there was this pressure to issue. We don't have that luxury of time. But there were politicians, whether from South India arena or from Delhi itself, saying you need to issue visas. Even if that individual is not qualified, we had this ludicrous pressure to say, if that person is not a terrorist, go ahead and issue.
So what she is saying is that even if the person is not qualified, she's getting pressure from Indian officials from New Delhi and South India to push these people through the program because Silicon Valley wants those Indian workers. They want to pay money, but they think they're getting top-notch workers when in reality, she's saying they're getting run-of-the-mill workers. They have fake bank accounts, fake degrees, fake certificates. It's all fake. They're scamming the system. The Americans think they're getting over on the Indians, but the Indians are getting over on them. Good for the Indians.
1,000+ visa applications. How many of those were legitimate?
Easily between 70 to 80%. That was my denial rate. Everyone's benefiting in this whole system, right? There's kickbacks that everyone gets. The H-1B manager, they would prefer their own Indian people because it's not about, because the Indians are the best and the brightest. Bribery is quite normalized. I saw a lot of H-1Bs as well as J-1s who have bought their seats into medical school. That sort of stuff does not jive with our values.
Are these H-1B visa holders superior to Americans in every way imaginable?
Absolutely not in screaming letters, NOT.
Oh, y'all, as they say in church, somebody got to hold my mule while I shout. Because this is just gold. This is screaming gold. These people are not superior. White Americans have called them model minorities. The Indians are supposed to be the smartest. They make the most money. They're this, they're that. All of that is to make us look bad. When the scammers beat the scammers, it's always a win for us. Water seeks its own level. That's what science tells us. Water seeks its own level. So if you are a crook and somebody else is a crook, who's the biggest crook? I don't see anything wrong with these Indians taking advantage of the system. Well, it is wrong, but it's also wrong for people to be trying to take advantage of them. Two wrongs don't make a right. So they're both wrong. She started the video by saying everybody wants to go to the United States. Why? Because as long as you're not a Black American descendant of slavery, you can scam the system. The Somalis have shown us that. The man from the Bantu City Diary says that about Nigerians, and they don't feel bad about scamming. They don't feel bad about frauding. We are the only ones who are trying to do right, and we should keep doing right because all of this stuff will get exposed in the fullness of time. And so the Indians, immigrants are busted. They don't care. They don't care because they knew from the start they weren't the most qualified. They knew that. The Americans just didn't know that. So, is it racism that makes these white companies pick Indian immigrants over Black Americans? Well, not necessarily. Let's see what the co-pilot says. In certain industries, especially tech and contracting, some employers have learned that the immigration system gives them something they can't get from American workers, and that is control. Foreign workers on temporary visas are tied to their employer. They can't easily quit. They can't negotiate aggressively. They can't push back on discrimination. And they can't walk away from low pay without risking their entire immigration status. Now remember, the H-1B visa is a temporary visa. They are not permanent citizens. So that dynamic creates a labor pool that is cheaper, more compliant, and easier to exploit. This is why you see repeated federal investigations into visa mills, fake job offers, and fraudulent recruitment pipelines, especially in sectors where companies want a steady supply of workers who won't challenge them. The fraud isn't coming from the workers themselves. It's coming from the recruiters, middlemen, and employers who benefit from the system. In this case, it's those people from India who are the recruiters and the middlemen. They have those employment agencies where they supply Silicon Valley with those cheap workers who aren't qualified necessarily, and certainly not more qualified than American workers. But the employers have more control. Now let's contrast that with Black American workers. Black Americans know U.S. labor rights, expect fair wages, can leave a toxic job, can file complaints, and can't be threatened with deportation. So there's an advantage to having those immigrant Indian workers than there is to having Black American workers. And that's the real issue. Not qualifications, not skills, not work ethic, not even ethnicity, but they have more control over those immigrant workers. Some of them said they even take their visas. Those people on those jobs take those people's visas, so they can't leave the country. So Black American workers are not exploitable in the same way. So when people ask, why would a company choose a fraudulent pipeline over hiring qualified Black Americans right here at home? The answer is simple: because exploitation is cheaper than equality. And you know, Black people want equality. That's a fact. And until incentives change and fraud is punished, until labor rights are enforced, and until discrimination is taken seriously, this pattern will keep repeating. Okay, so this isn't about blaming workers from abroad. It's about exposing the employers and systems that benefit from keeping Black American labor undervalued and underutilized. White workers complain too. They just don't complain as much as we do because they go on and do other things. They have more options. than black workers do. So this is about exploiting people when you come down to it. And America always wants a system where they can exploit people. They really want people working free. And they take all the money, like the slave system, like this country was built on. But those days are over. So they get the labor as cheaply as they can get it. And that's the bottom line. But Indian immigrants, you're busted. That's all I can say. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video and have a good evening.